Check out the Call for an Uprising video on Bob Saget's recent untimely death. By the way, the autopsy report says drugs were not involved. So, just so everyone knows.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I'm sure some of you have heard that comedian slash actor Bob Saget passed away on January 9th in his hotel room in Orlando, Florida. Now, I know some of you think that a lot of truthers do videos when someone passes because it's a clickbaity thing.
He watched my video! He watched my video on Betty White, because I said that in the video, and that's clearly what he's doing here too, but he's lampshading it. Nick says, lately Call for an Uprising is just a shittier version of J Station.
That's what we always get blamed for.
Is he echoier in this video? He does sound a little echoier. Maybe he's in a different room or something.
But in reality, when this does happen, people such as myself, what we do is we research the person, we look into their background, if there's any connections to the occult or Freemasonry.
So basically, you turn on your, like, how do I put this? You intentionally seek out information that would confirm your bias. We call that confirmation bias call. It's a well-understood topic in psychology. You're not doing research. You're looking for things to bolster the opinion you already have. Maps and Mimic says NB4F slur joke because of Bob's last name. Wouldn't surprise me.
We at least show that and present it to people, and they can make a decision for themselves. Because, look, like the clip I'm going to show you here, sacrifice is a part of being in these secret societies. From
Source?
Masonry all the way to the top. You've seen it.
Freemasons on the bingo card. Again, someone already won bingo, but we can play for fun.
Even in movies, they portray it in fraternal, Ivy League schools, the movies that they've done, which, about skull and bones.
Movies aren't real. Citing fiction as fact on the bingo card.
And things like that, that sacrifice is always made. Now, I'm not saying that's the case here, but I'm going to show you his connection to Shriners, Freemasonry, as well as connection to being very supportive of the potion that's going around out there. But
yeah, most people are in support of the vaccine. If you threw a dart at a map of the U.S. and it somehow let's say you had a thing that was every person in the United States randomly arranged and you threw a dart at it, chances are that person would be pro-vaccine, because most people are.
Remember, sacrifice is what it's all about. Here is a clip from the movie The Believers. You guys always ask me what this is from. I use this when I show these these videos where there could be a sacrifice involved, because this is what the occult is all about. People involved in it are asked to make sacrifices. And when you're in it, at some point in time, you're going to become the sacrifice. That's how it works. You don't just pass and everybody praises you. You give your...
That sounds like a kind of a shitty deal, doesn't it? Almost sounds like that wouldn't work effectively as an organization at all. Weird.
Yourself up at a certain point in time. And again, I'm not saying that's what has happened here, but take a look.
Of course you're uncertain, Cal. Naturally, so was I.
Presumably a scene from a movie that I haven't seen with a secret cult or something, and they kill him. There we go.
Now, let's start with this with Bob Saget, okay? There's a lot of creepy stuff about Bob Saget out there that he said.
Is there? I mean, I don't think Bob Saget was particularly funny. It's weird because Bob Saget wasn't funny to me in two different ways. On Full House, he's not funny because it's all incredibly inoffensive milquetoast, like TGI Friday sitcom humor that's not particularly funny if you're not 5 years old. And then on the other hand, his actual persona with his stand-up is so far the other way, where it's just saying offensive things for shock value that I don't find it funny. But, like, I don't have anything against the dude, you know?
And done in his stand-up. I won't even delve into that. But here's a post he made recently on his Instagram account. You can see the hat. That's a Shriners hat that he's wearing. And here is what Bob wrote directly next to the photo. He says, okay, why am I wearing a fez? Well, for the first time ever since my dad left us for greater pastures, I went through some of his stuff and found some of his treasured accomplishments. He was a very proud Shriner and 32nd degree Freemason. For those that know, the Shriners are a society of people who do a lot of
Philanthropic?
do a lot of philanthropy and philanthropic work, and often pay for surgeries for people that don't have insurance and can't afford medical care. And I'll get into that in a minute, because that is the great ruse of Freemasonry and the Shriners. That's how they get away with being in our towns and being in our society. They pretend and they play off
Being charitable and helping people? Yeah, people tend to like when people do that.
the emotions of people, that they're there to help children and they're there to help people in need. That is not the case. That is how they hide their satanic Luciferian worship, by using things like that. People go, hey, leave these people be. They do more for society than you do. It is a part.
I mean, assuming what he says about the Shriners is true, objectively they do call you are an act of harm to society, and they're just like a gentleman's club that apparently does charitable work. What charitable work have you done, Call? Like, even I did a fundraiser some years ago that raised over $10,000 for St. Jude's. What have you done? Yeah, that's what I thought. It helps to sound right when you don't actually have someone here to respond to. Seriously, though, I do think Call's a piece of shit.
Part of it is in the teachings that they have. I've covered this before with not just secret societies like Freemasons with Skull and Bones and things like that. They are taught to always be philanthropists. This goes from the Rockefellers all the way down the list of these people. So he says, for kids and others who've needed organs, major super expensive surgeries, and they've saved many lives, I just wonder if you have to wear this fez to do all that. So he uses the humor there to deflect. By the way, it is in mint condition.
It's not a deflection. It's literally just a joke about the hat.
And that was my dad, an incredibly kind, smart, and caring man. I wonder if he ever wore this hat. I guarantee you he wore it. I guarantee you he wore it. Because, you know, to be a Shriner, I mean,
He probably wore it in the parades where they drive the tiny cars. Does Call think tiny cars are sinister?
this is part of the game here. And, you know, it shouldn't surprise anyone, because all of these actors and celebrities, like I pointed out, are all members of secret societies.
All of them? Every single one? And not one whistleblower? Wow. That's unlikely. The only way 3 people can keep a secret is if 2 of them are dead, Call.
At different levels. There's a lot of different secret societies, okay? But they all teach the same core thing that Freemasonry teaches. That's why I cover Freemasonry. It might be the bottom of the barrel as far as secret societies go, but they all teach and go through the same rituals.
So how does that work? There are competing secret societies. Is it like a Coke Pepsi thing? If you can't get into the Illuminati, you join the Shriners as your fallback? No. Illuminati's your dream school. The Freemasons are your fallback, and the Shriners are your safety. Profane Priestess says, I used to go to a Shriner hospital. They're why I can walk now, and my parents never paid a dime. Fuck Call. He's about to piss me off. Yeah. He's an asshole.
Okay, there's other ones that might be deeper into Luciferian worship, more black magic and things like that. But I've shown you the Bibles and the things that they use in Freemasonry, which really are covers for teaching Egyptian worship and the worshiping of the Egyptian gods, and of course, Luciferian worship.
People in the Shriners are not worshiping Satan. What are you talking about?
And like he says here, admits his father was a 32nd degree Freemason. One thing to note.
Yeah, because it's not sinister, Call, because adults know that the Freemasons are literally just a men's club. One that's frankly dying because younger people aren't interested in joining. Nick says, you worship a Middle Eastern god, Call. This is true. He does.
Note about that is when Freemasons pass, especially Freemasons of high degrees, they come, they show up. The brothers and whoever is a part of, you know, the
God! Oh no, it's the tiny cars!
Shriners group that he's a part of.
Look at how sinister these older men look with their mustaches and gray hair and hats and tiny cars. Truly, they're the ones running society. Arconium Bum says, how many modern-day non-archaeologists does he think can read Egyptian hieroglyphics? Can we add tiny cars to the list of symbols? Yeah, let's do it. I just think that's fun. For those who don't know, I've been keeping a list of things that Call and other conspiracy theorists say are Freemason or secret society symbols. So yeah, tiny cars can go on the list. Tiny cars. Let me space that out a little different. That's good. Hold on, I need to do it. Nah, that's fine. That'll do. Tiny cars.
They show up at this person's home when they pass.
Yeah, pine cones. Pine cones came up. I don't remember the context for the pine cones, but someone said pine cones were a secret cabal symbol. Pizza. Yeah, that ties into the whole... That's a whole story. You'd have to look at my YouTube channel. Go through my conspiracy playlist. It comes up.
Yes, and they take all of their stuff that is affiliated with Masonry or Shriners. They take their books, their teachings. That's how this stuff stays kept secret. That's what they do. They show up there. They'll see them at the funeral. They're not there because they're paying their respects. They're there to accumulate and grab the stuff that shows the affiliation, the allegiance. So kind of strange that he still had his Shriner hat. Maybe he just shoved it in a box somewhere and they weren't able to find it, or maybe Bob had it all along.
At some point, they probably just... why do you think they're not allowed to have their hats? What?
But Bob pretending like, hey, it was just a very proud Shriner and Freemason, and he's not, and he's famous. Is it...
I don't think he is. Was. Sorry, past tense. I forgot he died. Bob Saget wasn't, to my knowledge.
Extremely hard to believe. Now, does that mean there's anything to do with this being a ritual? Of course not. Do 65-year-olds just pass? Yes, they do. But keep in mind, he was in perfect health, and the night before he did a massive, not a massive, but he did a very long stand-up set.
I don't know what happened. I don't want to speculate. But unfortunately, just health emergencies can happen that we don't expect. People can have aneurysms and just die, you know? It sucks. It sucks a lot. We're all mortal, and it's something we have to grapple with.
In Florida, about 2 hours, which is very long for stand-up comedians to do. If you ever seen any of these stand-up shows, you know, on TV or whatever, or even gone to a comedy club, a set is not usually 2 hours long. That is very long. So it seemed like he was in good health to be able to do a 2-hour set. Now, one of the other things about Bob...
Have a good night, Bruiserker. Thanks for stopping by.
Here is Bob is big on the magic potion. Now I'm going to read you some of his quotes here, because...
Muddy says, unrelated bird update, he hates Call Sheo, bird's name, is so pissed right now. I'm sorry. Aurora Nova with 100 bits says, hey, Hannah in chat, never seen you live before. Excuse me, as I don't really use Twitch and just watch the VODs on YouTube, but my husband found a conspiracy theorist's YouTube video the other night that we think might be great for future Tinfoil stream. You should probably screen it and his channel ahead of time for possible words not allowed, though. Thank you. I always appreciate it. I'll have to check him out. I always appreciate new submissions. And I'm glad you're able to catch it live. I'm glad you guys enjoy the show. New Leviathan, thanks for 9 months. Says 9 months now. Been great content. That's a sub baby. What is this sub baby's name gonna be? This sub baby's name in honor of Bob Saget is going to be Danny Tanner.
I don't know if I can show him on the screen. He said he went to the dumbest pharmacist yesterday and asked for his booster, and he gave him a child's seat. Haha. I was mad until I sat at the table and was a foot taller. Okay, so he's talking about how he got his boost, but that's, you know, someone might read that and say, well, that's not really, you know, admitting to taking it. Well, he openly admits it. He says, please, people, I don't want to preach, but please get your Visine today. Sorry.
Yeah, you should. I'm getting my booster on Friday. Tube Man says, every day I thank the non-existent god that I get into anime in middle school, because whenever I hear Call go on these insane rants, it reminds me of my conspiracy theory-obsessed preteen self. I thank Naruto and Inuyasha for saving me from being a chud. Wow. I love anime now. Thanks, anime.
Sorry, autocorrect. I mean, magic potion. Help save eyes. Sorry.
Danny Tanner is eerily close to your real name. Do you live in a house with your brother-in-law and your friend who's a stand-up comedian that does a bad Popeye voice, and 3 daughters with an annoying neighbor in San Francisco? Is referencing a thing that exists a joke? Oh god, I've become Family Guy. I've become the thing I swore to destroy. Hydrate.
I mean, this stupid autocorrect. I mean, save lives. Right? So he's using humor and stuff, and then he has people on his podcast where he says, really love today's new episode with a doctor he had out talking so knowledgeably about the magic potion hesitancy and all of the real facts about the magic potion. So he's obviously, just like all these celebrities conveniently are all pushing this.
It's not convenient, Call. Most people are in favor of the vaccine, and if you have a platform, it makes sense to promote it and tell people to get it. It's the same thing I do. I'm not being paid by anyone. I'm not part of a secret organization. I just recognize that it is useful, that it'll prevent you from getting sick, or if you do have a breakthrough case because of the variants, then you're going to have a much better time and have a far less likely chance of getting hospitalized or worse, killed. Please get vaccinated. It's not a conspiracy. You're just an idiot.
On everyone. All of them are. None of them are like sitting back going, hey, you know, do what you want to do. I'll worry about myself. All of them come out. They criticize those who don't take it, and they push it on people. And then there's always a connection to Freemasonry and the secret societies, and nobody says boo, right? These people just, oh, they care so much about your health, yet places like California are talking about canceling surgeries and organs, you know, all types of organ transplants for people who don't have the potion and other.
Yeah, because why would you? That's always a thing. Organs, unfortunately, are very rare, right? I would recommend, by the way, if you don't have organ donor on your driver's license, I'd recommend it. If you have, like, religious or personal reasons not to, I can't tell you otherwise. But I think it's a nice thing to do. I'm an organ donor, so if I died and anyone, you know, if there were any organs that could be used for anyone else, I hope that they get used and they are able to help someone out. But there are a limited supply of organs, and there are fewer organs than people who need them. So you get on a wait list, and you get prioritized based on a number of factors, including your health. So if you're a smoker, you are less likely to get a lung transplant or something than someone who's a non-smoker, because there's a higher chance you're going to damage those lungs. If you are an anti-vaxxer, yeah, you should be lower on the list than someone who is vaccinated, because there's a higher likelihood that you are going to waste that organ because you will die. Because you're stupid. Because you're very stupid, unvaccinated, and you're going to be more prone to do stupid medical things like take ivermectin, or just catch COVID and die. You should be lower on the list. Sorry. Chaos is your friend says, chance of death from COVID according to anti-vaxxers, 0.1%. Not scary. Actual chance of death from the vaccine, 0.004%. Very scary. Captain Rose, thanks for 10 months. Blackwing Hecate says, have you ever heard of the tragedy of Doug Walker the Referencer? I thought not. It's not a story BreadTube would tell. It's a chud legend.
Other countries as well. As if it's more dangerous to get this common cough and sore throat than to...
Yeah, remember when the common cold killed 800,000 people over the course of 2 years in America? Woo, crazy times.
You know.
Go fuck yourself, Call. Again, you are an idiot.
Need emergency surgery and pass from that. I mean, it's insanity, right? Then you also have other stuff with Bob. You know, you have Bob with Bill Nye saying that Bill Nye has to be a distant relative because these people are all related to one another.
He's making a joke because he's saying they look alike. They don't even honestly look that alike, but they're just making a joke. It's fine.
Right? You have Bob doing the shh with his finger over his mouth, which is another secret society symbol.
No, it's not. All librarians are in on the cabal, apparently. That's why Call doesn't read books. He doesn't want to give way to big library.
Then you have Bob even reading a book, The Devil May Dance by Jake Tapper. Now, why is this of relevance? Well, this is Jake Tapper's book about Hollywood, the history of Hollywood, which of course has everything to do with the devil. But Jake...
That's this thing is already on the symbol list. Blackwing Hecate with 390 bits says yoinketh and becomes a stream boss.
Tapper, I've exposed before, not just for being a talking head zombie on CNN, but Jake Tapper, when all this stuff blew up with Comet, Ping Pong, and Pizzagate, I did a couple of videos about Jake Tapper because I found articles where Jake Tapper was interviewed and talked about his favorite places to go, and his favorite restaurant in the whole world happened to be Comet Ping Pong.
Yeah, it's a really popular pizza place in Washington, D.C., one without a basement, by the way, despite the conspiracy theory he's referencing, hinging on it having a basement that it doesn't have. Honestly, if I ever go to Washington, D.C. again, I am going to that fucking pizza restaurant. Just because I have to, right? I make fun of conspiracy theorists so regularly, I have to go to that restaurant and try the pizza. I hope it's got orphan meat on it. I hear it's delicious and supple like human veal.
Right? And if you look at the menu over there, you could tell it's a front for something.
Call, if you're watching this video, that's what we call in the business a joke, by the way. I know you don't understand jokes, so I feel the need to point out that that is a joke. I don't want to eat human meat.
Else because the pizza looks like it came right out of a frozen section of a grocery store. I mean, you're probably better off with Celeste pizza than you are with the garbage. And I'm not saying that because of everything connected to it in James Alefonta's. I mean, it doesn't take an expert to look at pizza and know what gross pizza is. But of course, you have...
Let's see if the pizza's gross. Comet, ping, pong, pizza. Let's take a look at their pizza. Oh, no. I think that looks okay. Menu. Oh, they don't have pictures. Do they have pictures otherwise? About, maybe? I can probably Google and get closer pictures of people eating there. No, I think that looks like a good hand-tossed pizza. Does it look like the best pizza I've ever had? Not unless the crust tastes amazing, but it looks pretty good. I think the cheese looks good. That one looks pretty boss. I like greasy pizza, though. There's more pizza. Don't know if that's from... Are those full meatballs on the pizza? No, I want pizza. Chris Broken says, it's your pilgrimage, Hannah. I guess so. Anadon Earhart, thanks for 12 months, says, wait, what happened with Peter? You'll have to watch the VOD later. It's sad. He's just losing it. Seriously, though. Now I want pizza.
You have Guy Fieri, you have Jake Tapper, you have all these celebrities
Night Maps and Mimics.
Pushed that place, and of course Barack Obama led it.
Altered Rin says, as far as I know, Call isn't from New York and therefore not allowed to judge whether pizza is good or not.
Them in the White House, letting James Alefonta's in, which is another story.
And then H. Baird says to Altered Rin, as a Chicagoan, I object. Look, I like deep dish pizza. Deep dish pizza doesn't count as regular pizza. Do you want me to preheat the oven so you can make pizza? Yes, please. I'd appreciate it, Baha. I'm probably going to end when this video's over. Thank you.
For another day, if you're not familiar with that entire thing, that was really one of the things that I broke here on my channel back in 2016.
It's a pizza lasagna, yeah. And again, I want to reiterate, I love Chicago deep dish pizza, but in my head, it's not pizza, it's Chicago deep dish pizza. It's basically a completely different food with the same ingredients. It's kind of like how there's tacos, and there's burritos, and there's quesadillas, and they have a lot of the same ingredients, but they're different things. Chibi Hawk 420, thanks for 8 months, says, 1 more month till our love child is born. Blackwing Hecate says, as a resident of the Elm City, New Haven, I also object. Altered Rin says, if I want pizza, I'm not getting a deep dish, but I like deep dishes, and if I want a deep dish, I'll get one. That's a really good way. No one, when they say pizza, if you say pizza to 100 different people, No one is going to think of a deep dish pizza first. They think of a New York style pizza, because that is what a pizza is, generically speaking. I also like Detroit style, but again, it's not what I think of when I just think of generic pizza.
Of course, all that was taken down. They created a lot of psyops around it to deflect from it, and those videos, of course, have been removed from here, but are available on my website. So this is just something I thought was interesting with Bob. Obviously, they haven't released the cause or anything yet, but look, we already know he's potioned, so that's one thing you can think of, and we already know he's a Freemason, so we know that with these people.
Or something tragic just happened, Call. Do you think tragic things and people dying never happens? You psycho.
Their time comes when they're called. That's how it works. And I hate to even say Freemason because they're in the occult. That's what they're in. Right? And he's wearing the fez. He's showing you he's wearing the fez.
It's his dad's fez.
He admits his father's 32-degree Freemason and a Shriner. And again, like I said before, don't fall for this stuff. These guys are in your local town. They show up at parades, asking for donations. They go to hospitals. What do you think they're so fascinated with going to the children's hospitals for?
Oh, you fucker. How dare you fucking insinuate that shit? They're going to help the kids, you piece of absolute dog shit. How do you wake up in the morning and not feel disgusted at yourself? I hate this man. I hate this man with a passion. Really? Call is so bereft of sympathy and the ability to care for others that he legitimately cannot understand someone who does something to help children. All he knows how to do is to fucking rant on the internet. He cannot imagine the mindset of a human being who goes somewhere and actually helps someone. So he has to imagine it's some ulterior evil motive, because he would never do it because he's a selfish sack of crap. H-Bread says, I feel the need to explain. Deep dish isn't the only pizza in Chicagoland. There's also a type of thin crust that's made there, which, while round, is cut into squares instead of slices. That might be very good. I haven't had it.
Huh? Because who would be suspicious of, oh, they go and they donate money and help out the children's house? Oh, yeah? So they wouldn't be suspicious that anything might be going on there with their, right? I can't say more than that, but let's be realistic. Okay? Let's be realistic. So for Bob to find this, to post a picture with him with the hat on, there's also certain rules with Freemasonry and secret societies that you can't impersonate a Freemason. It's like, I don't even know if it's a real crime. I remember I did a video on it many years ago.
It's not a... Call, it is not a crime to impersonate a Freemason.
Because somebody pretended to be a Mason to cops, and it was somehow they got arrested or something like that. But... Bob, if Bob wasn't a part of it.
I would imagine it was for something else they did, because it is not illegal to put on a Freemason outfit. It can be illegal to lie to the cops. Was it that?
I don't think they'd be letting Bob wear the hat and, put it on his Instagram.
They have no authority over him. He's not a member.
Account, because that's how...
In Saginaw, there's a pizzeria on Center Road that has thin crust square slice pizza. Do you remember the name of it?
They operate. They like to be hush-hush. They don't like this stuff, really being out there. But, Bob admits to his father being a 32nd degree Mason, which probably means he's really a 33rd degree Mason, or at the very least an honorary 33rd degree Mason.
What? He wasn't. He was 32.
And like I said earlier, you got the magic potion connection and everything else. So Bob Saget, if other stuff comes out, like with some of the same...
Most people have gotten the vaccine in the United States. You're in the minority. Please get it. I'd like to continue making fun of you for the next however many years. And if you don't get vaccinated, there's a high chance I won't have the opportunity. B&C Pizza near M46. That sounds familiar. Have I eaten there? Hold on. I don't live in Saginaw anymore, but I used to. B&C Pizza. Have I eaten there, actually? I don't know. Next time I'm in Saginaw, maybe I'll have to check them out. Maybe not next time, because I'll be doing D&D, but sometime maybe.
That came out where...
Next time I hang out with Jake or something.
the story was like they put something around their neck and, did something to themselves. We'll see if that's the narrative that they take. But 65 years old, just not waking up. It'll be interesting because what they do is they'll come out with, I guarantee you they'll come out with stories and say it had nothing to do with the potion.
Because it didn't. Call. Why would it? There is no evidence that vaccinations are dangerous. There is zero evidence that they are dangerous. Stop lying.
Because that's what they do when they start, like, they do
Isn't Saginaw the birthplace of the Bible Reloaded? It is.
listen to channels like mine.
Well, technically no, actually. We moved to Saginaw later, but we grew up in a town called Hemlock, or Merrill. We lived down the street from each other. The Hemlock and Merrill are very close. So the actual town we kind of went to was Hemlock, but our houses were actually in Merrill. So that's where TBR was born.
Doesn't mean that I'm important or anything like that, but they, you'll see some of these articles out there and you're like, why are they even bringing attention to it? Because they're stupid. And they bring attention to these things to deflect, but in reality, they're bringing more attention to something that only gets 20 to 30,000 views from me or another truther out there or many other truthers out there, and they deflect off of it, like Hank Aaron and like many of these other celebrities who were supporting this and then just magically went away. They had the same narrative with Betty White. The stories came out.
Betty White was 99 years old and 2 weeks away from her 100th birthday.
Betty White didn't pass because of that. This is why. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's fucking old! Call, how dumb are you?
This is somebody who was very active in trying to push this on people, and somebody who obviously is very well connected to the secret societies, like all of them are. So I just wanted to do that and cover it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I know a lot of people said it comes in threes. We did have another, quick what do you call it? Case of the threes or whatever.
Call, what do you not understand? There are always celebrity deaths. You could group them into any arbitrary number. So you could say, oh, it's 3, or you could say it's 4, and you just include the next one, or the previous one, or 5, or 6, or whatever. You are arbitrarily counting by threes. That's why you see it in threes, you moron.
You want to call it, with the passing, Sinead O'Connor's son passed, and then we had Sydney.
Sinead O'Connor's son? You consider that a, what?
I think his last name is Poitier,
Sidney Poitier.
Who passed away as well at 94.
Oh wow, and 94-year-olds never die. Do you think Call at any point listens to himself and goes, this is a stretch even for me, or is there no lengths to which he will not go to come up with some crazy fucking theory?
All happening within within 24 hours of each other along with Bob Saget. So this is how it all works. It always happens in threes. But you let me know what you think. A reminder, check out the website at callforuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. And also, please sub to my other channels. I have both of them linked below. I'm uploading videos to my old original channel as well as it's up for re-review. Maybe we can, God willing, get that channel up and functioning again and unshadow banned. We'll see. So it can reach more people. But just make sure you sub to them if you can. I appreciate all of you greatly. Hope to see you on the website as well. God bless all of you and your families.
What a lunatic. So that's what Call's been up to. He's been doing a lot of videos again. He recently did a video on Disney trying to do like a virtual Disneyland or something. But, oh, he uploaded another one 2 hours ago. Yikes.
If you've that some
Hell hands them out. I don't need to pump their ego here. I don't know if it's a guy or girl. We post a lot of great stuff on the website. It is something I've been talking about for years, and it is now happening just like I said it would happen. I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, because this is the horror of all horrors. And this is why I've been covering these TV shows, normalizing children in adult roles. And I've been talking about how they were going to use science to brainwash people. And people were like, they'll never convince people of that. Oh, yeah? Look what they've convinced people.
Okay, we'll save this for another stream. Let's see who we're going to raid. Thanks, everyone, so much for coming to the stream. I had a lot of fun today, other than the Peter bit. That was pretty sad. let us see who we shall raid. Make sure if you liked what you saw, give me a follow. I'm here almost every day. I do Tinfoil Tuesdays every Tuesday, and we do Conspiracy randomly throughout the week when I'm feeling it sometimes too. I do Chud Watch, where I look at weird right-wing nonsense that has a lot of crossover with the conspiracy stuff. Tim Pool wishing for civil war and all sorts of weird stuff. If you want to support the show, you can do so on Patreon, patreon.com/HannahReloaded. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HannahReloaded. I'm working on getting to 15,000 subscribers. I'm at about 14,400 right now. So if you haven't subscribed there already, give it a check out. It's also where you can get my entire backlog. Hours and hours of content. You wouldn't believe it. Literally, we sat down and calculated it like a couple months ago. It would take 60 straight days or so watching 24 hours a day in order to get through my entire backlog of streams. So go check it out. And also stream clips. So if you just want 20, 30, an hour-long segments from the show instead of watching the whole stream, that's over there as well. And they're all categorized into like conspiracies, Chud Watch, sovereign citizens. It's all categorized, so it's easy to find whatever's your favorite kind of content. So go check it out.